have something about this the survey that we've trying to conduct internally for the program as a reminder?
Uh,
No,
no,
no.
I don't have it here yet because I want all these candidates to fill in. So, guys, please do it, or you want me to send more emails to you.
Yeah, well, the point is we have 6 responses so far out of 18 minus 3, I guess, if we are counting now properly.
So, you are also filling the feedback?
I haven't filled the feedback
Okay.
yet. We'll see if the responses are not too good. I might do it, but since we're almost halfway through the program, getting close to halfway at least, we've shared this survey to all the mentees. So we hope that more than Umar and the 5 others that have responded already. We'll do that because this is the first time ever we're doing this. So we are also learning on how to run this program. Are we moving too fast, too slow? Is it working with your mentors? Is there anything else you want us to do, and so on? So we're really happy with the honest feedback, even though Prasan was a bit pissed at me because I made it anonymous because he wanted to check if who said the good things or the bad things. But I think he's doing some hacking in the background to try to figure out who responded. But it should be anonymous at least.
Yeah, I'm trying to track their IP addresses and stuff. So, okay. So, okay, then we'll kick off now. Thank you, everyone, for coming and welcome to Sandbox Accelerator Program. We started off with selecting some of the candidates through a competition where the data farm helped us to get these candidates. And then it started with competitions. We had this first guest lecture, and now we are down to our second guest lecture, welcoming Eric and Ant.
Hello.
And this is our small team that we have put up who is actually helping us to take this whole vision and idea to the goal. And we are already there. We have Adrian, Steve, Jyoti, Lewis, and Idris, who are our mentors for different regions, and they're helping all the candidates to help them and become the best of what they can do. And then we have me and Tori, who are bugging them all together and just making sure that everything is on track if possible. And then today we are going to welcome our guest lecturers. First, we have Eric. And he's the founder and co-leader of Tableau Public Tug and helps with the Nashville Tug. At work, he plays a key role at the VUMC Surgery Analytics team and is a 3-time Tableau Ambassador. He has been doing Tableau Public Tug has become one of the best tugs, I would say. Though I come from analytics tug, and Annabelle will kill it if I'm saying it on record. But yeah, it's a good tug. fair point.
It's one of the best. I'll put it up there. There's a lot of good ones.
Right, and we were debarred from getting any further awards. So yeah, I'll cheer for Tableau Public Tug again. This Wizies for sure. And then we have Ant. Ant is a reporting and visualization manager at Lloyds Banking Group based in the UK. He is a Tableau Public Ambassador, a 3-time winner of Elisa Fink. WTF, I never knew Tableau could do that. We were saying that in the future, it's going to be more like Anpuli and like that. It's going to be, I'm sure, because if you haven't seen his vizzes, you might be surprised and you might be scratching your head. Okay, is this possible or not? Yeah, I never knew Ant could do that. And he has received 5 visits today. I'm not sure if there's an update over there, but he's got some tremendous visualizations on Tableau Public. And both of these guys are going to take us through some of the exciting tips to how we can actually make the best out of Tableau Public and also the Tableau Public Tug. So I'll just stop off here, and I'm going to hand over to both of these experts. And to your question, Tori, I need to update it. So sorry for that, guys. We have more visionaries now, I remember.
Yeah, no worries. I saw Lewis was a bit pissed there, but
Yeah. Lewis, I'm going to print a cape for you for all my new visionaries. Sorry, we always get it too much in the joke format and everything. So over to you, both of you.
All right, thanks. You want to share their Ant?
Yep. Let me know you can see that.
Looks good.
Good stuff. I've already forgotten who's kicking off. Right. Did you want to start, Eric, or did you want me to?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Glad you joined us today. I hope that by the end of this meeting, you see that Tableau Public is more than just a bunch of pretty vizzes. Ant and I are going to walk you through all the different aspects of it, and we'll get started. You want to go on?
Cool. Yeah, so just a brief agenda, just so you know what's coming, of what we're going to cover. We've been introduced. We'll introduce ourselves again, so you definitely know who we are. A little bit of an intro into Tableau Public, what it is, how to get started, talk about Visit of the Day, talking about how to use Tableau Public as a development resource. We want to plug, obviously, the Tableau Public user group. I put in brackets and other user groups because there's a lot out there. Want to talk a bit about sort of ambassadors and visionaries and public ambassadors, and then go into some sort of community and initiative stuff, and hopefully we'll get to sort of go into Tableau Public Live and just show a few things going on at the end. So that's the plan of attack. See how we get on.
All right, so you've already heard, I'm Eric Howard, a manager of data analytics at Vanderbilt University Medical Center and the founder of the Tableau Public Tableau Users Group. I did an Agentforce presentation for the Nashville TUG this past January, and this is the welcome slide I use for that. When I'm not doing Tableau, you'll find me doing something adventurous outside, paddling, rock climbing, hiking. I think we're going mountain biking tomorrow, so we always like to get out and get away from and unplug for a while when I'm not online. So you're up, Ant.
Thank you very much. Yep, so this is me. More words, which I think Prasanth said most of them. But yeah, that's me. I'm from the UK. That's my wife and my 2 daughters. And slight update to the job title. I got promotion about 6 months ago, but I'm still working at Lloyd's Banking Group. Tableau Public user probably for about 5 years, but I've used Tableau itself for longer. As Prasanth said, got a few like Visit of the Days, busy winners, that kind of thing. 3rd year as a Tableau Public ambassador. So Eric's a Tableau user group ambassador. I'm a public ambassador. We'll talk a bit about that later. And I had to mention, we'll mention it again, co-lead of the busy winning Tableau Public user group. I don't think we'll win it again. I think they're capping us on 1 win as well. But we shall see what happens this year. And also co-lead of Games Night Viz community project with Lewis, who's obviously here as well. So want to plug that always. Outside of work and family, I'm a saxophone player, and I enjoy tennis is my current physical activity that I like doing. My handle on various social media is Consult Ant, because I found that quite amusing. So please look me up on LinkedIn, Twitter, Blue Sky, whatever's out there at the moment. Cool. So I'll jump straight in. I'm going to start from the basics, because I don't know if anyone's using Tableau Public or knows anything about it. So we'll just start from the off of welcome to Tableau Public. So this is the Tableau Public home screen when you jump into it. And what is Tableau Public? So it's Tableau's free platform that they offer, which allows you to explore, create, and publicly share data visualizations, as it says there. So it's a huge resource. I don't know what we're up to, over 4 million authors, 11 million visualizations. It's huge numbers on Tableau Public as a platform, and anyone can use it. It's free. You can log on, you can create visuals, you can go and explore. It's fantastic for inspiration in terms of both artistic stuff, business related dashboards, etc. And it's just a brilliant platform for sort of learning and upskilling in general. So what I want to just briefly walk through is what you see on Tableau Public when you sort of log on, when you go into it, just to sort of break down what's there. When you first go onto the screen, you get shown lots of different things. The one at the top of the screen tends to be Viz of the Day. So Tableau runs something called Viz of the Day, where every working day they highlight a Viz in the community, which is particularly exceptional in a certain way, and it's a really great place to go for sort of inspiration and things like that. So that's probably the first thing you're going to see. If you're signed in, if you're involved in Tableau Public, you get something called a recent activity feed. So anyone you follow, any sort of bits, people you follow, authors you follow, the things they favorite, the things they publish will come up on your recent feed. So it's like it's not quite a social media feed, but it's, who you're following in the Tableau Public sphere will all appear there, and you can see what they're doing. And it's really interesting to see what people are favoriting and what they're publishing. What everyone will see, even if you're not signed in, is a trending page, and that's really good for showing. Like I see Adrian's got his Viz, just happened to be at the top when I took this screenshot. So this shows what people in general are really interested in when they're on Tableau Public. So you'll see the stuff that's being looked at very, very often. I think Adrian's name is probably there quite often. Featured authors. So every few months, every quarter, I think it varies a bit. Tableau will pick a certain number of authors to feature on their Tableau Public page. It might be all the Tableau Public ambassadors, it might be a particular program, it might just be a selection of authors who are new, and it could be seasoned authors, it could be new authors. It's just people who have been producing good content, and that's a really good place to go to find authors to follow, to find particular new ways to look at stuff. And then the rest of the homepage is sort of split into Vizes in different categories. So it might be learning Tableau, it might be arts and cultures. So it's a good way of just having a little look through, just to see what's going on in Tableau. If you're a user of Tableau Public, the first thing you want to do is sign up, because when you sign up, you get your own portfolio. Or once you've published something, it will be a portfolio, but you have your own profile, and it's a place to sell yourself. It's a place to learn. It's a place to just try things out. But you can sort of customize it to sort of what you want. So this is I took this yesterday, so this is my current profile. And what you can see here is top right, I've got some links to my socials. So if you want this to be a place where you can link to LinkedIn, all sorts of other things, you can add your socials to it. Obviously, you've got your standard bio, picture, explanation of who you are, what you do, all the numbers, if you've got anything you want to add there. It's got quite a cool feature called Hire Me, and that's something you can switch on in the settings. So if you're using Tableau Public to try and get a job or try and help, get a new contract, whatever it is, you can turn on the Hire Me button, which pops up when other people look at it. So if they're interested in your work, they can contact you. Tableau Public's great because you can create a Viz straight from the website. Just click on create a Viz, you can start building a Viz. You don't need to download software, you can just start building a Viz straight away. So that's a really useful tool, just straight off the off. And then the tabs you get when you're logged in on your own profile look like this. So you'll see the Vizes you've produced, the favorites you've selected from other Vizes, who you're following, who's following you, and then these tabs at the end are things only you will see. So I've got 6 hidden Vizes because they're Vizes I'm working on that I don't necessarily want people to see publicly. They're still technically public, but people can't search for them. And I've got my stats page, so that would just show me what's been going on in my last 30 days of Tableau Public activity, which is quite interesting. It's quite fun just to see what goes on when you publish certain Vizes, to see what people are interactive with. And then there's kind of just above your actual Vizes, so all of these are the Vizes you might have published onto Tableau Public. You've got something called Organize Your Vizes, which I haven't really used, to be honest, but it's something, a recent sort of added feature, which is the ability to organize your Vizes into folders, but it's done via AI. So it sort of searches your Vizes and puts them into sort of related folders. If you know my profile, this doesn't really work very well with my profile because I don't think it really understands most of my Vizes because they're all a bit bonkers. But if you've got perhaps a more structured set of Vizes that are a bit more labeled and make more sense, then I think it would work better. So what can you see in Tableau Public when you actually go into a viz? So I'm just going to talk you through what you see when you click on a viz. It might be your own viz, it might be someone else's viz, just to show you what all the buttons and things are. So this, again, is just my viz, just because it was easier to show what's there. The latest Makeover Monday viz I did. So you get the viz, obviously, and then you get a lot of buttons and details and things all around it. So I just want to quickly walk through what's there, and I apologize again if people know all this, but I'll go over it anyway, just in case. There's always something you might pick up that you perhaps didn't know about. So when you look at a viz, you get all these various buttons and things. First thing I want to highlight, there's this viz sadly doesn't have any, but there's a little count of favorites at the bottom. So a favorite is when someone's seen your viz and they want to tag it as one of their favorites. So they might want to come back and look at it at a different date, or they might want to share it or whatever. They might tag it as a favorite, and that will appear there. And then this little I is just the number of views that viz has had. So it's just a useful way of seeing how that viz is doing. Most of these are me, I'll be honest, because usually when you first publish a viz, you tend to look at it quite often to see how it looks. So you get that sort of initial surge of your own views, but then it might pick up over time. Then what we've got across the top here are a load of sort of control options. Some of them are repeated. The first one will vary depending if you're on your profile and logged in, or if you're looking at someone else's profile. And the first one is edit. So I could just go in and edit this viz on my profile because I'm logged in. The other option is copy. So that's, you can copy that viz onto your own profile and have a look at it, see how it's built, understand how people have done certain things. But I think that only works if I personally have allowed my viz to be downloaded, which I'll mention in a minute. The next one is favorite. That's just another place you can click to favorite that viz. I want to say I like that viz. Share. That will give you a hyperlink to the viz that you can share, or it will give you some embed code which you can then embed into a website somewhere else. Download will allow you to download the viz in various formats, and that could be an image. You could download the data, you could download the actual Tableau workbook, but what you can download will depend on what the user has said you can download. So if they've turned off the ability to download the dashboard, you'll only be able to download an image. You won't be able to download the actual Tableau workbook or the data. And there might be various reasons why someone's turned off that ability, but you won't always be able to download everything. Then there's a little rosette kind of thing, which means nominate for viz of the day. So if you think the viz is a particularly good viz and you want to see it featured on Tableau Public, hit nominate, and that will just automatically nominate it for viz of the day. And then what happens is the Tableau and community leaders team will sort of review that every week and decide what viz of the days come through. And then finally, there's settings. And essentially what that does is allow you to show or hide your viz. So you can choose that your viz is visible to other people on your profile, in which case they can open it, play with it, download it if you've allowed it, or it's hidden. If it's hidden, that means it's still public, as in you've still loaded it onto Tableau Public, but it can't be searched and people can't find it. They'd only be able to open it if you gave them a direct link to that specific viz. So that's useful for if you're sort of collaborating with someone and you just want to put it on a hidden tab on your profile. The other thing you can do is turn on and off downloads using that button. So if you're happy for people to download your workbook, and I would encourage, if you are loading stuff onto Tableau Public, to always allow that if you're able to, because it's just a good way to allow other people to learn from what you've done as you would have done for other people. So that's sort of the kind of settings and things you can do in there. You'll see there are a few other buttons down here. They essentially do the same thing. This is downloading again. This is sharing again. The only other one there is full screen mode. So you can just turn it into full screen mode. So that's fine. So that's what you can see on a viz. You've got some details down here in terms of description of your viz, and you can edit them. So this is what that edit pane looks like. So if you are publishing a viz and you do want people to view it or be able to find it, then this is quite key to fill in. You want to give it a title that makes sense. You want to give it a description that might tag a community initiative you're using, or it might explain what you've done, what resources you've used. This is really important, this inspiration box here. So if you've built a viz which is heavily inspired by another viz you've seen on Tableau Public, then please do put in a link to that viz or a link to that author in the inspiration column, because that it's just good practice to sort of call out the people who have helped you and call out the people who you've found to help. And also, you can only put one link in, but it doesn't stop you putting more people in the viz description. So maybe you put the key inspiration in the link, and then you can put a load of stuff in the description. So I would say make sure you do that if you can, because that and the author themselves will see that. If it's in the inspiration link, you get that in your stats page, so you get to see if people are being inspired by your work. And then finally, if your viz is published on another site, you can add an external link to that as well, so people can click through to that. So that's the details piece, and really it's all about letting people know who's inspired you, and B, just making your viz searchable and just adding all the keywords that allows it to be found. So that was sort of the nuts and bolts of sort of most of what's in Tableau Public in terms of the buttons and the things you can do. If you haven't used it already, there's sort of a hit list of things to do. First is obviously sign up, get an account set up. I would say next one, look at the visitor days, because there's some absolutely amazing stuff in there. Go through, favorite some, subscribe to Visitor Day, which means you get emails each day telling you what the viz is. Start following some authors, so go through that featured authored list. I do that every time a new batch comes out. I just go through there and automatically follow everyone, because I just want to see the good stuff that's coming through. Look for ambassadors and visionaries. They're great people to follow, because they're always going to be sharing tips, great visualizations, and you'll start seeing that on your recent activity feed coming through. And then create a viz, and as you saw on the front page, really easy to do. You can do it within the browser. You can just click create a viz, connect to some data, start vizzing, or you can download the actual desktop app and start doing it on your desktop. Whichever way you prefer works really well. Tableau Public as a software has got most of the capabilities of paid for Tableau. The restrictions are mainly around what data sources you can connect to and how much data you can connect to. But in terms of actual functionality of the tool, it's pretty much got everything, which is really good. And then start publishing your vizzes up, share them with the world, get feedback. That's the best way to learn. You publish stuff. There's a bit of a what am I going to say? Doing that first share, doing that first sort of publish and share on whatever platform it is quite nerve-wracking, because you don't know how it's going to sort of come back to you, but it's worth it, because the data farm is really it builds you up. People are there to sort of help you out, give you tips. So it's absolutely if you're wanting to go down this route, that's the best way to learn. Start creating, start posting. And just to make sure, I haven't drilled it in enough, if you publish something inspired by others, make sure you attribute it. And that could be in your Tableau Public description, it could be in your LinkedIn post, it can be in your X post, whatever it is. Just make sure you let people know that you're using and appreciating their work. I just wanted to jump in a little bit more on Visitor Day. So I mentioned Visitor Day a couple of times. It's really good, and it's a real honor when you get a Visitor Day. It can be a real surprise sometimes. It can be for something you're not expecting. Some things can go great. It's a really cool thing. It's a really good thing to happen. They're chosen, as I said, once each workday by Tableau Public. They get showcased on the Tableau Public website. They get shared on the Tableau socials. You can see all of the previous Visitor Days in the Tableau Public homepage. There's a lot of them, obviously. There's one every working day, and it's a great place for some fantastic visuals. And we often get asked, particularly in the Tableau Public user group, how do you get a Visitor Day? What makes a viz worthy of Visitor Day? And I guess the answer is it's a lot of things, or it's specific things, or it's a bit of luck. It's a bit of everything. But there are things you can do to improve. If you're wanting to get a Visitor Day, there are things you can do to improve the visibility. And this is the list. Eric put this list together for our tug about the key things that that would help a viz get to viz of the day. One of them being it's timely or it's topical. So you're vizzing about something, you know, a religious festival or a particular holiday or a new year, you know, something topical and timely. That always works well. Something that highlights new features. So something that's just recently come out on Tableau. Can you do something cool with that? That's likely to sort of get up the ranking. Something that spotlights the diverse Tableau community. They go down really well because we got, you know, so much data, so many authors, so many ambassadors, visionaries. So something that spotlights that is great. Something, and this is I think where most of mine come from, includes a novel chart type or a Tableau trick. So you do something funky with Tableau, which perhaps is a bit different to what you've seen before. Next one, communicates a key insight or story. So something that's really relevant or that really cuts to the chase. And then the last one in bold, if something that's visually stunning is always going to be at the top of the pile to sort of make a viz of the day. So that's a few. If you're interested in that, my advice is keep this in mind, but don't focus on it because it often comes when you least expect it. But that's just the list of things that to be aware of if you've got that in mind. I think I'm going to pass to you, Eric. I think I've spoken far too long. So.
No, you're doing great. All right, well, let me share my screen. We'll take it up with the Tableau as a development resource. So I will duplicate some of what Ant has already said, because it's always good to have things reinforced as you're trying to learn it. Hopefully, you've already created an account on Tableau Public. If you haven't, I would recommend you create one, but don't use your work account, your work email, because you want this to be your sort of personal workspace. If you work for the government and get laid off, you don't want your Tableau Public profile to be inaccessible anymore. So you use a public email that is yours. Once you have it, you'll have your own page and you can start following authors and favoriting vizzes and building and publishing your own portfolio. As a new Tableau Public user, it is great to be able to publish your vizzes out there. And when you go to interview for a new job or whatever, you can point them to this and say, take a look at what I've done. I can do these things that you need me to do. So start building vizzes that have different types of analytics that show off what you can do. And we'll get into more about, there's just a whole lot of data out there that's available for you to be able to do that. So once you have signed up for your viz of the day so that you get your daily dose of inspiration, there are curated, can I go? Nope, not that one. Here we go. Curated lists of categories. It's called Tableau Public Discovery Categories, but you'll first see viz of the day and trending and featured authors, and then these others sort of aren't in any specific order, but they'll be there. So if you're looking for vizzes on news or current events, you can find them tagged there. Environmental issues, global warming, biodiversity, tag that, and they'll be in that sort of thing. People have their own resumes, visual resumes out there, so you can get inspiration if you're looking for a job for creating one for yourself. So there's all these different types of categories that if you're looking for a specific type of viz, you can go to these discovery categories and look at some of the best vizzes or curated vizzes for that type of visualization or analytics. Once you've done that, what you want to do is go and download that viz and then dig into it, break it. It's free, so I always make a copy of the original and I go in there and start playing with stuff and see if I can break it, fix it, make it better. One of the ways that I use Tableau Public to learn new features is I'll go grab an old viz that may have not used like a new feature in Tableau, and I'll rebuild it to use that new feature. So if you have an old viz that has tabs across the top, you can go in and recreate it to use dynamic zone visibility with buttons, so that it's sort of the same viz, but it has a new feel that allows you to play with that without having to go in and create all the analytics and all that is more difficult to do on the front end. So don't let say you're being a novice from getting in there and trying new things. What else? So let's take a look at the Tableau Public. So this is Tableau Public. If you're not signed in, you'll see that you have the ability to sign in for Tableau Public. And then you've got all the different discovery screens. I love the trending. One of the main features of getting a visit of the day is having a high view count. So if you do want that for yourself, you need to be able to post those visits that you want onto your socials to get that view count up. But then, like I said, featured offers, there are blogs out there that are really good. And then you get into the different types of visualizations. I'm a particularly fan of healthcare, working for healthcare organizations. So, but go in there, get signed up, and get it created. This is one of the profiles that I like to use. Here's my profile. So I've got my favorites. I recently learned you can have thousands of favorites. I was usually pretty stingy about what I favorited because I didn't want to have too many, but you can have 1,000. So go in and favorite what you like, because it really is. I mean, with 9 million visits on Tableau Public, it's hard to find it again. So if you see something you like, favorite it so that you can come back here and find it instead of trying to do a search of all of Tableau Public. Say, what was that keyword? What was that hashtag I used before? Make it your own favorite and do that. The other thing you could do is follow all the different authors. I'd recommend you go out. There's a list of visionaries and different ambassadors on the Tableau site. So look at that list, go look at each of them's Tableau Public profile. And if you like what they do, follow that author on Tableau Public. And then when you log in, you'll see what they've been doing. As Ant said, you'll get that recent activity. And then you can see who's following you. So I'm probably disappointing these people because I don't do a lot on Tableau Public myself. But like I said, then if you go out to your favorite that you're following, you can look at what their different ones are. And if you go select a dashboard, you can download the different dashboards and, like I say, go in there and play with them, or you can make a copy and work out with it online. I am a desktop fan. I'm not a real huge fan of the online editor because it seems to have missing features that annoy me, but that's my personal preference. One thing that I do like about this visualization by Priya is that she has this little information button that she has who the inspiration was. So Kumar, Ellen Blackburn. So like I said, Ant said you can put one link in your viz description, but you can put more in your viz itself. So it's very important to give people credit for that inspiration on Tableau Public. It was really, if it's abused, people will not let you download their vizzes, because if it's just downloaded, copied, and published up to somebody else's profile as their own without really doing anything, that gets to be annoying after a time. And this is a perfect example of that. Andy Kriebel used to be able to download his visual vocabulary, the most favorited viz on Tableau Public, 3.2 million, probably 2 years ago when I did this. And so many people copied it and published it as their own. It was hard to find his viz when you did a search for it. And so he just made it so you couldn't download it anymore. So he still does allow you to download his daily works and the stuff he does on YouTube, but it's sad that it's been so abused that he had to do that. So once you've downloaded it, this is that same dashboard that I got from Priya. This is what you see. There's just the dashboards and sales by product tab. You can go in here and unhide all worksheets. So I'd recommend doing that as soon as you open it up. Oh, unhide all sheets. And then you can go into each workbook and see what she did. One of the other favorite tips, I think this is Tori's tip, is you can go up here and say, let me see all the different calculations that are being used in this worksheet. And so you can go in and have a look at what they've done for each of those. I wish it was relative to the specific sheet you're looking at, but it's not. I'm not sure how to do that. But the other thing to pay attention to is look at how they name their things and how they organize. So right now we're looking at folders. This is the current year and metrics swap calcs, but you can also organize it by the data source. And you can see the different tables that were as part of this workbook. So go back to grouping it by folders. So you can organize things based on how you work and how the data is actually related and not just by the workbook. So pay attention to how different authors organize their work so that you can learn from those best practices. The other thing you can do, I believe this is a Superstore dashboard, so you can come in here and copy the whole worksheet. Well, maybe she's blocked that, but you can cut and paste sheets from one workbook to another. So you can use other parts of people's workbooks in your own. She's allowing copy formatting, so this may be blocked. And what else? Go back to my workbook. So you've downloaded it, you've dug into it, you break it, you fix it, you make it better. Again, sadly, not all of the vizzes on Tableau Public are downloadable, but go ahead and play with them anyway online and discover their interactivity and, you know, take a look at how you think they may be doing things, and look at how they're streaming together their storyline through their interactivity and analytics. So you can learn a lot there with Tableau Public. As Ant mentioned, Tableau Public is more than just a pretty website with a lot of beautiful vizzes. It's also a free application. So you can go download Tableau Public and put it on your desktop. And they even have a Apple Silicon version, so it runs really great. That's what I was using for Priya's presentation or visualization. They also have data sets, so you're not limited to just Superstore. I can open that up. Come on. Sorry. Open the hyperlink then. So they have all sorts of business and entertainment, sports, and you can go download these data sets, either CSV or XLS, and start putting together and playing with different types of information. So again, you really want to build a portfolio on Tableau Public that shows a variety of analytics if you're looking for a job in data analytics. You don't just want a pretty superstore best sales viz. Looks like they've got some how-to videos. So back to this. So there's also a beginner's guide to Tableau Public. Let me click on that. No. Sorry about that. I'm not sure why it's just not, probably because I'm not in presentation mode. No. Presentation mode. There. Now it'll work as a link. No, it won't. Sorry. All right. So there's a beginner's guide. I will cut and paste that into the chat. But it's got basically everything that we've talked about and a little bit more in detail on how to create your profile and how to use Tableau Public. So the other thing that I'll point out to you, it's not really on Tableau Public, but the DataFam Roundup comes out every Friday and has a lot of great inspiration. So that's something I don't think you can subscribe to it, but just set a reminder to go out there and look at that every Friday. Okay, so that's it for me. Let me stop sharing. And back to you, Ant. You want to cover the community projects?
Yeah, did you want to just plug the user group?
Oh, the user group? Okay.
Yep.
So yes, the Tableau Public user group is a great space every month to come see how they actually built these presentations. So we get 2 Viz of the Day authors to come in and show us how they built their viz. And we get 1 spotlight author to come in and talk about how Tableau Public has sort of helped their career and how they've used it and what their tips and tricks are. In March, we're going to have Hall of Fame visionary, dang it, I'm drawing a blank on his name now.
Steve Wexler, isn't it?
Steve Wexler, that's it. Who's going to talk about the early days of Tableau Public, because he was there to help get it started. And then we're going to talk about some of the early days and of Tableau Conference too. So unique perspectives from different authors in the community. Last month, we had a Tableau featured author that is just she's a 4-time Viz of the Day winner, but she doesn't do analytics as her day job. So she is just, or Tableau analytics as a day job. So she just does it as a hobby. So, there's all sorts of inspiration to be found on the Tableau Public user group. And it's myself and Ant, Agata, and Parithi and Priyanka all have numerous Viz of the Days and are just great Tableau Public ambassadors. Join us, won't you?
Yes, join us. 20th of March. That's the next one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool. So I wanted just to cover off sort of community and initiatives just to finish up. You may be aware of the community leader recognition, but I just thought I'd briefly cover who are out there. You've got most of the visionaries, I think, are on this leadership team. But I think that there was they've just announced the new Tableau visionaries. So that's the sort of the people who really excel in the Tableau community sphere. And I think there are 46 in the core visionary group this year. And then you get your Hall of Famers like Steve Wexler. So if you've been a Tableau visionary for 5 years, then on the next year you get it for life. And then you've got a set of Tableau ambassadors, and they come in a variety of flavors. not sure how many there are in total. I think there's three to 400 maybe worldwide in terms of total numbers of Tableau ambassadors, but you get community forum ambassadors, social ambassadors. So Eric is a user group leader ambassador, Tableau Public, which is what I am, Tableau Academic, so that's students and teachers, data dev, so the real technical people, and the CRM analytics people. Tableau Public, I've highlighted in bold, obviously, because we're talking about Tableau Public today, but I think there's 96 in this current cohort.
Wow.
I think Tableau Public has the biggest number.
Yes.
It's always historically had the biggest number of people in it, but they're great people to follow on Tableau Public in terms of just the variety of stuff you're going to get from them, because they're all just very different in terms of how they viz stuff. So worth just keeping your eye out on all of them.
Okay. Can I interject here? Go back
Yeah.
there for a second.
Sure.
So while you have the data dev up there, I mentioned Tableau Public is one of the best free resources from Tableau. If you're a coder and you like to get in and really play with APIs and stuff, go sign up for the data dev program, and they will give you a instance of the Tableau cloud to go play with. So, and it's for free. So they do reset it like every 2 or 3 months. So, but it's the latest version of Tableau Cloud, and you can go try it and do a lot of great stuff with it. So that's another great way to learn if you haven't done it. And I'm sure maybe they'll have a data dev day for you guys later, but I wanted to get that out there. All right, back to you, Ant.
Cool. Thanks. Yeah, so last thing I wanted to touch on was just around community and initiatives, because this really is sort of the way a lot of people learn the most, I think, out of Tableau. Particularly from my personal journey, I started when I started using Tableau Public, it was through community initiatives, and there's a site or a page on the Tableau website which gives you a list of all the sort of active initiatives. The one that always comes out as the one that people know of is Makeover Monday. So that's a weekly one that runs. They give you a data set and an original visualization, and the idea is you go away and rebuild it in your own way, whatever that may be. And that's where I started. A lot of my visuals are Makeover Mondays. It just gets great sort of exposure to just constantly doing new vizzes, just on different subjects, getting it out there, publishing it, getting feedback, seeing what people think, seeing what other people do, getting inspired by what other people are doing. And all the initiatives are like this. So there's Workout Wednesdays. I say all the initiatives are like it. Workout Wednesdays are slightly different because that one is a task, essentially. Can you replicate this task in Tableau? So it's a bit more of a technical one. But most of the other initiatives are around, either giving you a bit of data to play with, or giving you a theme or a subject to go away that you might enjoy. And there's something for everyone. So as I mentioned earlier, Lewis and I were on the Games Night Viz one. So if you like computer games, if you like board games, whatever games there are, there's data sets, loads of data sets for that. And for me, I found that one really good because I love a good theme when I'm building a viz or interactivity, and you can really do that with sort of the games kind of data sets. So you've got loads of stuff here that you can find that would suit you. There's bound to be something that's going to be up your street on the community initiative side. And then I wanted to highlight user groups. Obviously, we've plugged the Tableau Public user group, but there are loads of user groups out there. And again, there's something for everyone. There's in-person ones, there's virtual ones, there's industry-specific ones, there's product-specific ones, loads of different ones out there. So again, you'll find something that will work for you that's probably local or that's virtual, and they're just places where you can go and just hear what other people are doing, see what's going on in sort of the wider data fam. So if you haven't signed up for any of these, or you haven't tried any of these, then do. If you haven't tried a community initiative, start with Makeover Monday. It's a really easy entry, but have a look at this site and just find something that sparks your interest and enjoy, basically. That's the best way. And I think that was my last slide. I put demo, but that was done earlier. So I will finish on the thank you slide and see if we've got any questions.
Thank you, guys. There's a lot of interesting stuff that has been covered, and this group of excellent mentees, they have been asked to create a public site, of course, to build that portfolio. They're doing a lot of e-learning, and they're doing a lot of these exercises from both old and new community projects. So that's a great way of building that portfolio, I have to say. But there was also some stuff here that I think was new for them. I hope so, at least. There's a couple of new things for me as well. There was a couple of questions in the chat. Let me just move up here. Well, it was a tip also from Umar first. When using the description section that you showed earlier, use keywords in there to optimize the visualization to make them visible on search engines as well. So if you have something particular that you want people to search for, that's good. And then Lipi had by accident linked one of the visualizations to another as an inspiration. Is there a way to remove this connection? I don't assume anything. I'm asking, is it then possible to go in the same place where you edit this to get rid of it, or is it kind of stuck for good?
I've not tried that.
No, I'd assume you can go and delete the link in the inspiration field.
And if you can't, then
it might take a bit of time to feed through to the
and if not, you just have to republish.
Yeah, or republish. That's the other option.
A new one, of course, but that's then you lose all your clicks and favorites. So maybe not. Let's see. Lewis also mentioned that, of course, when you're looking at the demo, you have the trending, but as long as you have signed in, you also will see the recent ones, which is active that you mentioned, though the activity from those you follow. And of course, just contact Adrian if you're aiming for a viz of the day, because he can give you some hints on what he liked when he was in the jury. And I guess that also answers a bit of the question from Kamal. How does Tableau decide a viz of the day?
Yeah, so I've been in the jury as well. So basically, I think it's every 3 months, a number of ambassadors join some of the Tableau Public Salesforce team.
I can give you now. I can even now give you some hints. I think it's not a big secret. So you can see there's more and more business dashboards are selected as a viz of the day. So you have more chance if you build the business dashboards. Plus, when you have all those things Women's Days or holidays, things love, Valentine's Days and so on. So they're also targeting that as well. But also they cannot pass any dashboard that's looking really, really good, So
yeah. So if there's something coming up close to Easter, there's spring break in the US as well, or there's Easter. So if you make something, you do something that's related what's happening in the world, that could be helpful.
Maybe sorry, Prasanth, you're waiting.
Sorry, I just need to cut you all short. I need to go away, and before that, I need a picture for tomorrow's post. that is. So I want your smiling faces, and sorry again for disturbing the flow of the conversation. I like those white teeth all coming around. You can come over, guys. Don't be shy. Yeah.
I can show my moods of Norway.
Okay. Are we?
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Thank you so much. And please go ahead with the questions and conversations. I'll drop off. Bye.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well,
we'll see what happens if you drop off really for good, because you started the meeting. Hopefully it doesn't end.
No, it won't end. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, we're still here. Umar also asked, in a tough job market, how can Tableau Public make yourself attractive to employers? He has published over 110 vises already, and he's published a lot now over the last or this project as well, but even from before. So how can he get himself noticed to potential employers for any type of roles that he's looking for?
Well, I would say the first thing you need to do is you've created a bunch of visualizations on Tableau Public. Next would be to start promoting them on your socials, but not just go, hey, I created this cool viz, go look at it, but maybe write a short blurb of, hey, I created this viz and I did this analytics with it. And then when people who are looking for jobs or candidates will see that and be more drawn to your Tableau Public profile. That would be my recommendation.
I can
Yeah,
resonate on that. So, sorry. The thing is, you also like on your Tableau Public, you would like to have something. So put yourself into the skin of that recruiter or like a hiring manager, and what they're looking for. So like usually they're looking for business dashboards, you know, some design skills and so on. So basically, you kind of impersonate that person, so you can see what exactly you want to look into a Tableau developer. Plus, you should add your Tableau Public to your resume when you're applying for a position or something like that. So kind of you showcase your skills. Sorry, Ant, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, you can organize, if you can organize your profile so the vizzes you want to be seen are at the top. It's not, you can't do it overly easily, but probably the easiest way is just to go in, republish the ones you really want to be seen at the top of the profile, so that when someone does go into your profile, they see your top 10 vizzes, because it you know, focus them on, like what Adrian says, you know, the really good design business dashboards. If you can have them front and center, combined with what Eric's saying, just that consistent promotion of them and talking about them, it will get noticed because people will start seeing it.
Yeah, thank you for the tips there. Hopefully that's a bit helpful as well. I think we've gone through most of the questions now, if I haven't missed any. Prasan has left because he's starting a Tableau user group event in 1 minute. So if you still have nothing else to do on a Friday for me afternoon, then you can go in there as well. The link is in the chat. I'm also, for those of you who are mentees, reminder with this the survey, so we can get more feedback, honest feedback from you. Remember, it's anonymous, even though Prasan is trying to figure out your IP and everything. Thank you to Eric and Ant for sharing more insights into Tableau Public and everything around the community. And unless there's any final questions. Yeah, Benjamin.
Thank you, Eric and Anthony. Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so when Eric was talking about building capacity, I mean, using Tableau Public as a development resource, my take is, what would be your advice when you look at, you can see these that you really like, and it's very complicated, like it has all this, whatever it's on it, and you're trying to learn, they're just trying to learn the basic. So are you saying if I download the entire viz, I will automatically be able to figure out what they did? Or I would think, I mean, from some of the things I've been doing, I've been downloading very basic ones, and I'm like, okay, I think this is what they did here. But those complicated ones just seems, without the help of the person who created it, you might not be able to learn a lot from them. So
Well, that's
what do you say?
Tableau Public sort of helped you out because, like I said, go look at some of those ambassadors and go find their vizzes. And like Ant showed, they have those links up the top, and usually they write blogs about a viz that does something really cool. So you can go to their blog and they walk you through what they did, and you can download that viz and go through it with that blog. So that would be instead of just doing a random viz that you like, start with the ambassadors or some of those people and see if they have, that link up there to their blog where they've written about what they've done.
Thank you.
And also,
That's
also,
helpful now. The anecdotes with it, yeah, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I say, particularly the ambassadors and visionaries, most of them are going to be happy to be reached out to if you've got a question, and that's usually why they're visionaries and ambassadors. So don't feel you can't ask a particular question of them if you've got one.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's why people are ambassadors and visionaries. It's not because they're sitting on their own doing a lot of stuff. It's to help others thrive as well in this community. So please reach out and ask people. And of course, you have a benefit of being part of this program where you have your own mentors as well. So you are able to ask a lot of questions in here as well. Okay, it's 3 minutes past.
Yes.
Have
Okay.
a nice weekend and see you next time.
Thank you all.
Have a good one, guys. That's
All right.
it.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.